Walk through the halls of Lincoln Elementary and you'll find a predictable scene. A student finishes a snack, crumples the wrapper, and lets it drop. As the trash hits the linoleum, a silent chain reaction begins. This minor act of apathy isn't just an eyesore. It serves as a physical trigger for a mechanism buried deep beneath the school. In response to the drop, every analog clock in the building shudders and freezes. The second hands stop moving at exactly 3:33 p.m. In the library, Jake spots a faint blue light pulsing through the cracks in the floorboards. He and Emma peel back the heavy corner of the library carpet, exposing a solid metal trapdoor bolted into the concrete. A single piece of discarded trash has engaged an ancient, dormant infrastructure hidden directly under their feet. Leaving the bright library requires dropping through that trapdoor into a dark, dust-choked subterranean tunnel network. On the surface, the school librarian, Mr. Harrison, sees the exposed door. He reaches for a weathered journal behind his desk, a book passed down through a lineage of guardians that lists every person who has ever protected these tunnels. Deep below, a machine springs to life, projecting a glowing blueprint schematic mapping the tunnel network. A right marker tracks through the system, following Jake and Emma's progress toward a restricted central hub. Harrison's journal provides a stern warning. An ancient, weathered page features the phrase, "Do not open the third chamber," scrawled in dark ink. Their descent is no longer a simple exploration. The kids are on a direct path toward a secret intentionally buried for a reason. Jake and Emma step into a cavernous chamber, dominated by precision mechanical architecture. Every vaulted ceiling and gear is part of an intricate design that has been running for over a century. This is William Lincoln's clockwork community. He engineered the town on the principle that social harmony and environmental care are mechanically essential for the system to function. This diagram shows how the system responds to the dropped wrapper. When a single red particle enters the interlocking gears, the entire train comes to a halt. Here, gears represent citizens. Without mutual respect, the machinery simply grinds against itself and fails. The hidden architecture acts as an intellectual test. It requires the people above to care for their shared environment before the path forward will reveal itself. Mr. Harrison catches up to the pair at the deepest point of the network. They stand before a secure vault chamber containing an untouched ornate metal chest resting on a stone pedestal. Inside the chest, they find thick sheets of vellum covered in mechanical blueprints and a series of wax-sealed letters written by the town's founder. Lincoln's final letter defines the town's true value. He writes that their legacy is found in the curiosity and knowledge of its people rather than physical currency. Despite these words, the trio stares at the massive, handleless stone vault in front of them. Given the mechanical locks and the warnings in Harrison's journal, the weight of the vault suggests something monumental is secured within. The downward path has ended. They have reached the deepest possible point of the descent to find the final answer to the mystery. They examine the massive vault door, but it is a solid slab of stone. There is no lock, no keyhole, and no obvious way to move it. Emma notices the engravings on the slab. Among the ancient symbols, the central phrase is revealed. The answer is not inside. Emma decodes the surrounding symbols, identifying them as cartographic coordinates hidden within the script. These coordinates change the entire focus of their search. This 3D map shows that the location isn't further down into the earth. It plots a straight vertical line up past the surface level. Mr. Harrison compares the coordinates to the town's history. This 100-year-old sepia photograph shows a massive tower in that exact spot, a structure that hasn't been part of the modern skyline for decades. The third chamber was a test of perspective. These coordinates lead away from the underground tunnels and point toward the open air. As they acknowledge the tower's location, the heavy stone slab grinds sideways along its ancient tracks, revealing a new passageway. This passage leads to a staircase extending upward, ending at a wooden door bathed in sunlight. Maintaining the community requires the courage to step out of the dark and take active responsibility for the future. Jake pushes open the door at the top of the stairs, and they step directly into the interior of the lost tower. Inside, they find a final message left by the founder. The tower is watching. Civic duty is presented here as a continuous, watchful responsibility. The mystery of the third chamber hasn't ended. It has simply moved back to the surface.